At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, today's topic is really something that is in my heart so much because this is my area of expertise. So today I'm not going to sit back and just say, okay, my panelist, today I'm actually part of the panelist. So I like today because I have the freedom of speech talking because I know what I'm saying. So with me, as much as Lydia Tetolet, myself as an insurance expert, I also have with me Evelyn here today, and I have Susan, and I have Dr. Pamela as well. So they're going to introduce themselves, what they do, and which area they actually cover, because we are all covering different areas today. And actually, that's why I've brought different people from different continents, because the way insurance works is different from each continent. So it's not the same in Kenya or America or here in the UK. And even talking of the UK, even though we're in Europe, but even in Europe, in other countries like Germany, Netherlands, or Switzerland, it's totally different from the UK rules and regulations in terms of insurance. So Evelyn, please, if you can just introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lydia, and thank you for this platform. Just like you, I'm so passionate about this area of life insurance. Again, my name is Evelyn Opany. I have been in America for 20 years. I've been a life insurance agent for 9 years. My area of specialty actually is living benefits, because I understand majority of us have life insurance, but do they know what living benefits is all about? Also part of a beneficiary in living benefits, so I know exactly how that works and how that can be a saving to your income and to your family. So with that said, I a little bit about myself. I'm a mom of 2, and I will be speaking from America, so I'm on the other side. Thank you.
Thank you. So you're on Obama's land, like I always say. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Evelyn. I'm also going to go to Dr. Pam as well, who's in Obama's land. So Dr. Pam, please.
Hey guys, thank you so much, Lydia, for giving me opportunity to be here. My name is Dr. Pam Obare Mogaka. I am a doctor in nurse practice. I practice here in USA. I am the founder of DEAR Awards, Diaspora Entertainment and Recognition Awards. We do it every year, except this year. I am also an entrepreneur. I am the founder of freshcrownhair.com. You go to my website, you can find a lot of things, beauty products, anti-aging cream, very good. So here today, I am talking as a health expert. I am going to be talking about insurance in terms of from the healthcare perspective. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pam. And we also have Susan Mwangi, who is representing 254.
Oh, hi, Lydia.
Hi.
Such a pleasure to be here to represent the plus 254, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Susan Mwangi. I work with SCA Lion Group as a financial advisor. And I say I'm a one-stop shop financial services provider offering innovative products and services in insurance, pensions, investments, and trusts. So it's good to be here. At least we get to talk about insurance. And as we have said, it is different in different continents, but this is a good thing where we get to learn from each other. But at the end of it all is about insurance. So I'm happy to be on board.
Thank you very much, Susan. Okay, first of all, I just want to say that all these ladies are people who know exactly what they're talking about. So if you live in America or you live in Kenya or you're in the UK, please, if you're in the UK, you can contact me. If you're in America, you can contact Evelyn because she's actually sells and deals with insurance. And you can also contact Pamela if you're in America, and she can direct you to the right agents. And if you're in Kenya as well, you can definitely contact Susan because she deals with that insurance as well. So today we're going to talk about mindset first. The mindset. Most of us, or most of the Black people, I would say, I don't even like saying Kenyans or Africans, but just most of Black people, we don't really believe in insurance, either because we've been beaten before from insurance companies, or because we don't have the knowledge of how it works, or because of our community setting. We are people who we wait until somebody's gone because so much we believe in either generational poverty or generational curses. We don't really believe or embrace the generational wealth. We've been so much conditioned and engineered to just think of poverty, poverty, poverty. If somebody dies, we just do mchango, and then what happens next? So what do you think, Evelyn, in regards to this generational poverty, generational curse? We need to change our narratives and start generational wealth. How can we do that? What do you think about that, Evelyn?
Absolutely. You know, that's the reason why we are here. That's the reason why I decided to empower women and men too, because we need to change that narrative. You know, they always say, oh, wakenya tusaidia nangi. I'm like, okay, can you change that narrative? Now, what do you know about one thing? What do I know about one thing? And the more we keep on, because I think sometimes most of us, we look at it from a perspective of what's the word, scarcity, instead of looking at it from a perspective of abundance. So like for myself, when insurance was introduced to me, I did not know much about it. I had a good job. I used to work for a law firm. I had a good job there. So I was making good money, but I never had insurance outside of work. So when it was brought to me, I was 7 months pregnant, and all this guy, you know, the agent could talk about is death. Guess what? I blocked it because I was 7 months pregnant. The only thing I want to get to is have this baby. So I never got started. And when I looked, so that was 2007, and I did not get started until 2012. But this time when it was presented to me, it was presented to me from an area of my understanding. So I think when we talk about the scarcity part of it, or the lack of taking action, is because we are not empowered enough to know. And when I looked at that word exactly, being empowered to know, I realized that I hadn't put myself out there to know. All I did was I went to work, I did law firm work, I had an MBA, my mind was really narrow. That's all I knew, that I did not expand it. And so at the end of the day, I blamed myself, but I'm glad nothing happened to me during that time. And I think that's where most people come in. You know, you just think like, you know, life is going to be rosy, but that's not the case. So taking action is key.
Thank you. What do you think about that, Susan, in terms of the mindset and the narratives that we have to change in regards to,
I know one of the things, like talking in the local market here, where the penetration is doing so bad because you're just at 3% in Kenya. The insurance penetration is just at 3%. So what I would say is, yes, the mindset is a bit, people have not taken up insurance, not because of anything else, but one of them is the way you have been brought up, and then insurance is not something, or is not taught in the school, and the importance of having it. And we are looking at the generation, how our parents brought us up. If they had insurance, then we would have taken it long time ago. But it is something that everybody thought that it is for the rich people, and but it is now us who are on the ground, like the financial advisors. We are the ones to go there and teach the people that it is not a luxury, because people think that insurance is a luxury, and that is why they are not taking it, or they even think that is expensive. And again, it is not something that is taught. maybe if we would have it been taught, but now that we cannot go to the systems and have it taught, then we have to take it and we teach the people, we let them know what it is. Apart from that is the customer, we have a lot of poor customer service when it comes to the insurance. So people tend to look at it and see this is not the way to go. And then they look at insurance and they think of investments. So it is a narrative that people need to change, but the people who need to change it, like you say, the generational curses and generational wealth, we need to start thinking of our kids. Today, if we were to leave this world, then how will we leave our kids?
Yeah, okay.
Just like the Jack Ma says that you will not turn bankrupt because of insurance, but you will cause your loved ones to turn bankrupt if you don't have one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll go to Dr. Pam. Dr. Pam, what do you think about our mindset in regards to insurance? You're muted, Dr. Pam.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know how I get excited. Thank you so much, yeah, again, for this is a very, very wonderful question you asked for the audience who are watching. I'm just gonna go, for me, the insurance is something that has not been explained well in our community. I used to have my insurance with my ex-husband for a long time. So after we divorced, I needed a new insurance. I got an insurance from my niece, Lena, from Minnesota. But at the moment, I didn't understand it, but I just got it because I knew I needed it. But I challenged her. I challenged other people in the industry. I challenged Lena. I challenged Dan Abuga. I challenged Mecha, who lives in Maryland. I said, you guys do insurance, but you do not do a good explanation. And that is, Lydia, that is the biggest thing we have in our community. People don't understand it. Usually people think about life insurance like you are going to die and then people are going to use the money to benefit themselves. Husbands or wives are going to use this money to benefit themselves. So we need those agents who are out here. Actually, I'm so glad I just finished my school. I've been educating people where I know, not from an agent point of view, from where I know from a doctor point of view. So I am glad I just finished school and I am glad I will be supporting people. It is not always about money. It is always about empowering our people to understand the meaning of life insurance, the meaning of insurance with benefits, all those things. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you. And just coming back with what you've said, Dr. Pamela, you've rightfully said is regards to the understanding. So that's why Evelyn said when she had it, she was pregnant. And when somebody told her, she actually blocked it because she was like, I'm not going to die. Please don't talk about death to me. So because she didn't understand what insurance is. And like you said, yes, a lot of people who are dealing with insurance, they don't have time to explain to you. They just tell you take life insurance. So if you don't have the understanding, then you're not going to take it. And also what Susan said about people think it's expensive and I can't afford it. Every insurance, every single person have their own different needs and affordability. So every time you're taking insurance, is actually catered and suited towards your own, tailored. It's actually tailored towards your own needs and affordability. So don't feel like, oh, it's only for the rich people. Insurance is for every single person, the rich, the poor, and the poorest. It doesn't matter. And for the poor, it's even better because if you can afford that little money to pay your insurance, if you need it, it will be there. And I know, and that's why we are from different continents, that when I was talking to Evelyn, the way she told me insurance works in America, I was like, wow, that was, I think that's the best. And even Kenya as well, there's, I don't know, you can, if it matures. In this country, there's nothing. In the UK, there's no maturity, there's nothing. You don't get it, it's no money value. There's no value to it at all. They cannot, unless you claim it. And when you claim it, if it's life insurance, it's only when you die. But you've left it for your family, you've left it for your children. So in America and Kenya, the insurance really works good. I love that. I love the way it is, what it's in place, the system of the insurance that is there. So, but the thing is, we need to explain it to people to understand. So thank you very much, guys, for the mindset part. And I also wanted to talk about the community. As a community, I don't know if you remember a long time in Kenya, when somebody says, my child is going abroad, mtoto wangu anaenda, you receive those little invitations. Nowadays, there's not even invitations anymore. Those invitations, and they invite you for Harambe, they called it. And everybody went for Harambe.
Yes.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter whether you knew the person or not. Harambe was there. But now we're not saying don't gather when someone dies. Yes, this is our culture. It can never be taken away from us. But it shouldn't be contributing through duress. Because if it's through duress, you're hiding. You had somebody died and you're hiding because you don't have that money to give. You're hiding because you only have £5, and people will be thinking, Lydia is just giving £5. Because people have this perception in their mind that, oh, she's rich, she has money. If she comes here, she'll give £50. Let's go and get Lydia. But how much £50 or how many £50 will you give? Like right now I'm talking to you, and that's why this topic was ideal for me, especially for me here in the UK, because we've lost so many people. 2021, we've lost so many people in the UK. And the funny thing is, all those people want to be taken back home. How are you going to be taken back home? How are you going to be repatriated? Why? I feel like it's so unfair to leave the burden behind for the community to deal with it. So I've given, there's this guy, I won't call his name, but he has given, right now I'm talking, he has given £300 already for Matanga. He has given £20 here, 50, 60, it's £300. What can you do with that £300? A lot. So what do you think about that? And I'll go to Evelyn first to talk about that, the community.
So the idea of the Harambe, I see we started with this from back home. It's a concept that it's really dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
And now we came from, we are in different places of the world. We're in the UK, we're in the US and other places. And we think that we should still continue with this spirit of Harambe. I feel like at this point, the responsibility, the onus should be back to us. We need to take our own responsibility and not feel like the community, because I came here when I was much, much younger, no kids, but that's not the case right now. I have kids. And so if people are not taking care of themselves, how am I going to be continuing to fund these Harambes? I want to, but my finances might be tight because I have a family of my own too. So I think we go back to the mindset again. We need to get away from that Harambe-ness, and no, let's keep the Harambe, but we need to stop the idea that we are depending on each other. Everybody needs to start taking their own responsibility, because now we're in a place like America, how am I supposed to depend on my neighbor across the street or my friends to tell them, hey, something happened to me, can you come and help me? I'm sick. How are we going to do that? People have their own lives. So I think it comes from a place of, we have to start being responsible for ourselves first. And I think it will go back to, then if I need to contribute, it's not because, as you say, the duress perception of it, it's because nataka, I can contribute, I want to, because ultimately for us to take a body from the US to Kenya, it costs $15,000. So before the body is released, $15,000, that $15,000 takes the body back home. What about the family here? What's left if we can only be able to contribute $15,000? So onus goes back to us again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Dr. Pam, I know you have something as well to contribute to that, because I know you've done this show before where you've encouraged diaspora to get insurance because of the hardship that we see in our community day in and day out.
Yeah, thank you, Lydia. Again, for me, as I said earlier, it is educating our people. It is also educating them to know that it is not only, people get scared of insurance, Lydia, I have to be very honest to you. People feel like sometimes spouses can use that against them when they have insurance. So we have to give our people assurance about that. I mean, let them know that if you're taking insurance, you can put somebody else as your beneficiary, somebody you trust. They don't have to be your husband. They don't have to be your wife. If you have an 18-year-old or older children, they can be the beneficiary so that they can distribute the wealth. It is a way that we have to explain to the community. I remember, I can give you a quick story. I have my dear friend here in church. She's from Jamaica, and her brother just died like 2 months ago. And I was asking, I was like, do you need anything? Do you need us to do anything? She said, honey, we took care of it. We had insurance. You didn't even know we had insurance, and we took care of it. You don't have to give me even a coin. Isn't that beautiful? So my point is this, that if we have to have WhatsApp groups for Matanga, let it be like somebody can give what they can. But also, Lydia, in USA, we have something that I think it is different. They have groups. They are not insurance groups, but they have groups where they give each other money towards Matanga. So it is not an insurance group, but it is a group where they give each other like 10,000 or 15,000. You
like the benevolent fund.
The benevolent fund, which they do have. But I wanted to tell people that the difference between the benevolent fund and having insurance, you are going to leave wealth for your kids. If you had a 1 million insurance and you died 3 months later, your children, whoever you put, is going to get the million. And guess what? If they are good people, they can use that money. If they're your children, they can use that money to pay mortgage. They can use that money to go to school. They can use that money for a lot. But if you're in these benevolent groups and you only get 15,000, 10,000, that is not going to take your children anywhere. That is just to ship your body to Africa, and that's it. So I feel like you can be in those groups, but also have a little insurance. Also, Lydia, I'm taking too much time. Also, one thing that kills me is that people work in great jobs where they can even have insurance, that little insurance at work. I know it is not as good as the insurance that you can have it personally and contribute personally, but it is better than nothing because your company is paying for it. Why don't you take it?
Yeah. So I think it all goes back to the narrative, Pam. I think it all goes back to changing our mindset about the insurance, because sometimes even I have here in the UK, because I do insurance and I have so many clients, and I have some clients who are even willing to pay for their wives or for their husbands, but yet they don't want to take it. They're like, no. And I'm thinking, someone is paying for you. It's not like you're paying for yourself, but probably they're thinking this person either wants to kill me, or if I take insurance, that's it, I'm gonna die. Some people don't even want to talk about insurance at all. So that's why, again, it's creating awareness in our community as Black people, not just Africans or Kenyans, but as Black people. So I'll go to Susan. Susan, do you have anything to add on that?
Thank you, Lydia. I would add this, that the Harambes, yes, they are important, but they shouldn't be that you are seated there waiting for this Harambe for you to be able to bring the body back home, or even for the people who are here at you're waiting for the Harambe so that you can be able to bury your loved ones. We all know that we have a risk. Every day we wake up, there's a risk of illness. There's a risk of you not even waking up in the morning. There's a risk of permanent total disability, all those risks. So why can't we take these risks? Because what we do with the insurance is, yes, the risk is there, but why should you retain that risk? Why can't you give somebody else that risk of managing in case you are not there? We are not saying that because you have an insurance that you're going to die tomorrow, but it is a risk. That you waking up in the morning is a risk. You not being sick is a risk. And gone are the days before you knew, when I'm sure when you're in Kenya, as you were saying that there were Harambes for even kids going to the university. We don't do it anymore. Nobody will come there because it is not an emergency. It's not an emergency.
Even so for marriage, even marriage, there was a Harambe for marriage. Not anymore.
Yes, and even if you are sent to such a group, You will not do those contributions because it is not an emergency. So why can't we have people, like you're saying, why can't we have people taking that risk, letting that risk be managed by an insurance?
Okay. Thank you very much. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for all our viewers, and I really want to appreciate every single person on Facebook that is watching. I want to appreciate every single one of you. I actually have one of my clients here watching. He's supposed to, he was actually supposed to join us on Zoom to tell us about how he has benefited from insurance that he did want to take, and I forced him to take it. I always laugh at him and say, look at you. This guy actually wasted my time. And I said, I'm not leaving him until he takes the insurance, because you cannot waste my whole time. Came to meet you where he stays, and then he starts giving me story. Oh, I'm going to talk to my wife. I say, your wife, do you tell your wife what you're doing? Do you tell your wife everything? Just take, so now, when it got to the time that he now used the insurance, he called me and said, wow, thank you so much that you forced me. I literally forced him, but he benefited. So he's here on Facebook watching as well, but I really want to bring him to Zoom so that he can actually tell people, yeah, I'm here, it's true, I'm a witness, these things do work. So I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who tuned in. And just as you're saying, the topic is interesting and you're being educated today, please share to your friends. I've seen somebody, Joy Kirema. Joy Kirema is actually tagging every single person in our village today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joy. And tag your friends, tag your enemy, tag your ex, tag your husband, your wife, tag everybody, tag the whole village. And so they can also be educated in terms of insurance. And I tell you, if you tag your friends and every single person and they get insurance, you'll be blessed, because tomorrow you won't be giving your 10 pounds in duress, but you'll be giving your love freely. So please tag people, tag people, tag people. Now, I just want to say what someone said. Somebody said Kenyans don't like insurance because in the past, the companies have let them down. And someone also says, insurance companies can be mean to you when you need them the most. I'm glad I'm glad people have brought this up, but I just want to touch on why insurance don't pay sometimes. Not sometimes, but all the time when this happens, insurance will not pay. And Susan, if you have anything to say in that, in regards, or Evelyn or Dr. Pam, you can just interject. But what I've seen in the UK, why insurance don't pay is when you lie, when you hold information. Because what happens is people think that I'm going to take insurance. They find out that they're sick. Somebody has found out that they're sick. They're going to take insurance because they're thinking, oh my God, I've just found out I've got cancer, or I've got this, I've got that. Now let me go take insurance. So if anything happens to me, at least my family is covered. My friend, they will not pay, because once you die, or once you're critically ill, because there's also a cover for critical illness, or once anything, you've had any medical, they are going back to your GP. In the UK, now I'm talking about UK, and then you guys will talk about your continent where you live. But in the UK, if you take insurance and lie, whether you're a smoker and you lie you're not a smoker, you drink and you lie you're not drinking, don't forget that if they come and do tests, they'll find you're smoking. They know how to find these things. If you die, God forbid, they'll check, they will know you are smoking and you're drinking. If you're critically ill and now you're going to claim, maybe you have a critical illness and you have critical illness cover and you're going to claim, they'll find, first they will check your records. They'll come and check your blood. They'll check your urine. They'll check and they find out you're lying. So why should they pay you? Honestly, just ask that yourself. Why should they pay you? They'll say you're fraud, and they'll actually, your name will be read in there's no insurance company they want to touch you anymore, because they flagged your name. So that is why insurance don't pay. I have witnessed myself, a lady who died, and she left a 16-year-old son, and it was so sad because she paid insurance for so many years. This girl was drinking alcohol, but she lied that she doesn't drink. But and she died of cancer. She died of something totally different from even drinking. It had nothing to do with her drink. But now the insurance company had to go to her records, and they found out that she was actually drinking because she had liver or something as well because of drinking alcohol. So they didn't pay. So these people wanted to sue the insurance company. How can you sue insurance company when it's your own person that lied? So please, guys, when you're taking insurance, every little thing counts. Don't lie. Say the truth, because the worst thing they can say is, no, we're not going to cover you. Or we will cover you, but your money will go up. Your premiums will be higher than what it could have been. It will be higher. Or they'll cover you on a moratorium basis. They'll exclude whatever you have, the condition you have. So please, that is why insurance people do not pay. Don't lie. And that is in the UK. So Evelyn, is it different in America?
I mean, the lying aspect of it is definitely true. They'll have to go and check your records. So there are some companies that I deal with that they will not do your blood and urine if you take policies below 2 million. They will rely on what is called Medical Insurance Bureau to pull up your records. So they'll know what kind of medications you've been taking. They'll know your history, your driving records, your financial records. So they'll pull all that up. And also there's what's called contestability period, which is usually 2 years for most companies. So if you say, I don't smoke, and then a year later you die of lung cancer as a result of smoking, obviously you lied on your application. That will not pay because you had not passed the contestability period. So there are all those ways that they would not pay. And you're right, that contestability period is really key. And sometimes also suicide. You know, that's all on the application. You know, when you do receive that contract from the insurance company, you want to make sure that you read it, because it's all out there, black and white, what needs to be done. And if you're not sure, always call your agent, and your agent will help you. But again, responsibility is back to you to make sure that you are the policy holder. You have to read it and see what's protected and what's not. And if you have a question, like, you know, maybe there was a mistake from your agent, you didn't understand, you know, you always call the insurance companies and, you know, just make sure you verify that, so that, you know, when eventually something happens, that it pays out. But yeah, contestability period, very important that you keep your word, because they will find out.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I like that part of the reading part. We don't read. We don't like reading. I don't like reading. We don't like reading, but we like signing. So you've signed your life away. Somebody one day told me, I'm going to sue the insurance company because they signed something. And they say, but did you sign, madam? Yes. Did they force you to sign? No. Did you read it? No. So who are you going to sue? You can just sue yourself. But no, you cannot sue the insurance company because we don't like reading. So we just sign because they bring papers like this, and they're smart. They bring papers like this, and come on, who is going to read all that? And you just sign. I like that part of we don't like reading. Yeah. So Susan, is there anything else in Kenya? Is it different?
Lydia, just like Evelyn has said, and yourself, when we meet these clients, you give them the policies. They never read those policy documents. They never take time to read them. And most of the times when they say that the claims are not being paid, it is something that is already there. There are terms and conditions that are already there. Like I say here, I usually say insurance is based on utmost good faith. So if you lie on something and then something happens, again, the insurance will not pay. But we are looking at insurance not paying. Why are we not saying that insurance pays? Because they pay. It is only a few. It's just a small percentage that people have not been paid. And the ones who have not been paid are the ones who talk louder. The ones who have been paid, they will not preach the gospel. Because we have paid a lot of people. The problem is
the ones who have been paid don't want to talk because they don't want people to know they have money. So they start asking them.
Oh yes. So the only people that we find talking are the ones who have not been paid the claims. And I've seen, we have several products, like let's say an insurance, education policies, or even savings plans, where somebody has taken a policy for 10 years. So they have to wait for the 10 years for them to be paid. And then any policy that you have taken that is in Kenya, for you to be paid, majority of them, like the ones from my company, you have to have contributed for the 36 months for you to jump out if you want to surrender the policy. You tell the person, you explain to them when they are taking the policy that you have to have saved for 36 months for you to be able to surrender that plan. But anytime that they have an issue, a financial issue, the first thing that they will think about is breaking that insurance. They just want to jump out. So they come when it is only like even 1 year old, they are telling you, I want back my money. So if you say no, what will they do? You find them on the social media saying that insurance, they are scams, niwezi. But it's not that. Those terms and conditions, they are in the policy documents. So I would advise people, I would advise the clients, if you have bought a policy, please sit down with your financial advisor when they are taking you through. But even after that, would you please read those policy documents? If you maintain your side, the terms and conditions that we have given you, at the end of it all, we will pay you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Pam, do you have anything to add on to that?
For me, I would also say that what some of the ladies have said, lying, not telling the truth, because usually they check medical records, your medical records, to know what kind of diseases you have. Even if you lied and you were taking you were taking high blood pressure medications, you were taking diabetes medication, they will know. Why are you taking blood pressure medication if you don't have hypertension? So they will know. Lying is one thing, but also, because I just finished my class recently, I was seeing other things, suicide, there's other thing they say, war and aviation. They have different, like if somebody commits suicide within a certain time, the company cannot be paid. If a death occurred because of aviation or war, they have a certain way that they will not pay you unless they stipulate it in a certain way. So the bottom line is understanding the insurance. And the ones who are explaining, this is Lydia also, you know me, I will say the truth. This is from the insurance people, the ones who insure the patients, or the ones who insure the people. Keep that connection. Call them sometimes. Even when they have like disability insurance, or they are sick, or because if they're in your circles, call. Because I know one lady, Lydia, who was supposed to have disability insurance because she broke her leg, but she could not even have it. She didn't even know she qualified for that. So even us as agents, we need to keep track of the people we have insured. I've not insured anybody, but when I start insuring people, what I would say is that keep in touch with people, explain them, ask them, do you need anything? Because the truth is, Lydia, this is also another thing we have to for me, I am coming from the patient's point of view. If somebody signs, they get a little commission. So you get something from these people. Why is it so hard for the person you've signed? You are getting something from them, calling them, educating them, also giving them, keeping them track so that they can know. Sometimes telling them, you know what, you can also add your child as a rider. You can also do, just, we need to keep in touch. And not in bad faith, but in good faith, just reminding them, just writing even a note and saying, hey, I was thinking about you. Are you okay? Are you doing all right? Just because they are your clients.
Clients, yeah. Yeah, that is good. And that's why I wanted you here as well, because me, Susan, and Evelyn will be thinking on the same rider. We'll be thinking the same because we are all insurance agents, insurance experts. But for you, you're talking on terms of you're a client.
Yeah.
So somebody has given you insurance and totally forgot you. I even have some of my clients actually watching, and they know that I always keep in touch with them. But sometimes, like you say, Pamela, as well, it's important, because even me, before I keep in touch with my clients, sometimes it takes forever. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I've never spoken to my client. And that will make them, because somebody else will come in and give your client a better advice than you and take them away from you. So I know if there's people watching who are actually experts in insurance as well, what Dr. Pam have said right now is very important, that we should keep tab with our clients, review their policy, and because all the time new things come in the market. So we can advise them and say, yeah, and I have people that have also reviewed their policy. Now, I want to talk about plan. I always say that we have plan A, B, and C. Now, plan A, I always say is insurance. Plan B is investment. Plan C is savings. Now, why do I put insurance first? Because of time frame, time limit. Nobody knows tomorrow. Yes, it's important for us to have 5 years goal, 10 years goal, short-term goal, 2 years, because I want to build a house, I want to build an empire, I want to do this. That is fine. But we don't know if I'm going to be there tomorrow to do that. But if you have plan A, which is your insurance policy, you know that that is a saver. That is there. If anything happened to me before I finish my plan B, which is investment, and my savings is there as well, at least I know that my children and my family are catered for. Now, I always calculate it as 10 pounds. So if you have now, I'm talking about UK now, you can translate that into dollars or Kenya shillings. But if you have 10 pounds, I'm telling you, in this country, people can waste 10 pounds every day without thinking, doing just nothing with it. And when you look back, you're thinking, where did I spend my 10 pounds? You can't even remember. So if you put your 10 pounds on the side, within a week, that's 70. Within a month, that's 280. If you take that 280 every month, you divide it into 3, you now take 56 pounds, put it in plan A, 130, put it in plan B, which is investment, and then 93 pounds or 94 pounds, put it in your savings, which is plan C. Plan A is because time. Whenever you die, plan A is there. But plan B and C, nobody knows. Only God knows our plan B and C. But at least plan A, you know that I've saved something, and that's the insurance policy for my family. So that's how I always put it, plan A, B, and C. Would you agree? Would you add on anything there, Pam?
Oh, you know that. Have that. My cup of tea. Thank you so much, Lydia, again. Actually, this is another thing that we need to discuss in our community. Other than insurance, savings. Lydia, where I came here a long time, almost 20 years ago, nobody talked about these things until I stumbled into these things. There is a man called John Ron. He's an American guy who talked so much about financial independence. It's called financial independence. He talks about 70, 10, 10, and 10. 70, the money you're using to pay bills and everything. 10, that you give to charity, church or charity, whatever you want to do. 10 on active investment, and 10 on partial investment. Meaning partial could be something like a business or something, or even saving in you know, like a 401k, or we have 401k here, or even investing in a Roth IRA or something like that. And then the other one, which you are, you know, active revenue, which you are using, maybe you are buying stuff and selling and buying stuff and selling, so that you can always have financial independence, just in case you live to 80 or 70 when you retire, or 65 when you retire, you have something. Because Social Security itself is not enough, Lydia, for somebody to have quality life in USA especially.
Yeah.
So it is very important, very, very important. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, thank you. So Evelyn, what would you say in regards to that?
Yeah, the plan. That is very important, because I mean, like Pam, you and I know that saving in this country is really hard. It's very, very hard. People live paycheck to paycheck, you know, and so when you have to say, you know, divide this money in these different ways, people get confused. So that's why I love the fact that
I can answer you that. Let me tell you, you don't have the way Dr. Pam is going to invest is not the way you're going to invest. Lydia talked something about $10. Do you know if you saved $10, which people buy, us women, we go to the mall, $10, you buy clothes. So it is not like we have scarcity of money. We don't plan. The truth is, every person can, and you know, sometimes people say, I'm insensitive. I'm not insensitive. I'm just saying that, let's say, for example, now there's COVID and everything. Do you know there are people who are out here driving Uber and making money during COVID? So it is not that we don't have money. I'm sorry, I cut you. It is the little, the $10, the $5 that you are going to buy shoes, that you are going to buy clothes, that which as we do. So that is what I'm saying. It's not like the much money.
So back to what I was saying. So if savings is an issue, that's why I love the plan that we have. The putting the $10 per day. If you make $20 or $30 per hour or $40 or however much money you make an hour, I always ask, could you put aside even $8.30 per day towards a savings? And in this savings, it's a life insurance. It's also a savings. And it's also a place where your money is being, you are getting a return of it. So it's one tool, but gives you all those three components, right? So that way, that's $250. But when I say $250 per month, sometimes people see that's too much to save. So this plan makes you automatically save every single month, or every single day, you're putting $8.30 aside towards a bigger savings. Yes, it is a life insurance, but it has all those three components in one. That makes it so much easier. You discipline yourself that every month you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. And I found that to be the most simplest way to do it.
So we need to have the plan, and then you just
the plan.
That's all.
The
just
plan.
the plan. Very simple. What about you, Susan? What do you think about the plan?
The plan, that is a huge one, and is something that everybody should think about. And when I'm talking with my clients, this is how I take it, that somebody needs to have goals. They need to have the short term, they need to have the medium, and then they need to have the long-term goals, because saving is not easy. It is never easy, not just for women, but everybody. It's not easy to save. And you know, it feels good when you're eating your money, but you eat your money in quotes and you forget about tomorrow. So you must give them the discipline with the plan. It's not easy unless now somebody comes and takes over, like the way we are saying that you must have a percentage. And I always say that for Christians, we tithe from our gross income. When you come to the government here, there is what we call pay as you earn. I don't know whether you guys, you know it, that the government taxes you on what? On your gross income. But how comes you find it so hard to pay yourself? So if the government can tax you, you go and tithe, but you don't pay yourself. So my rule is, before you spend, because that is where people go wrong. They first spend and now start thinking, what do I save? Before you spend, first save. That is how you pay yourself. Pay yourself first, and then after that, then you can have all the other percentage. The percentage may vary, but I'm hoping, Lydia, that you can have another forum where we can take people through a budget plan, where somebody needs to have a budget to get to know. You know, the way you're talking about £1, all these 10 pounds, the way you're spending the 10 pounds, where we can train the people on the budget planning, so that we show somebody is able to do like a tracker for the whole month, and they're able to know this is where my money goes to. Maybe you could have such a forum.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. Lydia, please make sure you bring Susan back, because that when people get the plan, I think they will do much better.
The plan. Thank you very much. So now we're going to talk about priorities, because even with the plan as well, priorities is always very important. What's your priority? Is my priority to take my children? Because I was talking to one lady actually just yesterday, and she told me that there's this app. I didn't even know there's an app like that. And I don't think I want to take it, because me, I'll just find out that I'm wasting so much money in my heart. I'll have a heart attack. So she said that she checked on this app, and only McDonald's, we all know what McDonald's is, because I know there's McDonald's in Kenya as well. Only McDonald's for her children, she spends £6,000. Ha! No shillings, pounds.
Look at
I was
that.
like, okay, that is heart attack immediately for me. So I said, I don't want that app, because I know that app, I'll just, the money that I'll see, they'll start thinking of the cement, Simiti, I could have bought this, I could have bought this. I don't want that. So let me just live this life. So she said she spends so much money. So if we check our priorities, is it because I want a Gucci bag? We have women who are walking with Gucci bags, but yet they don't have insurance. And I'm sorry to say, and I know somebody who's told me for this, but it's the truth of the matter. If today, God forbid, God took your life, will you live with Gucci bag, pay rent for your children? Will you buy food for your children? Will you take your children to school? So we need to have priorities. Yes, I'm not saying don't buy Gucci bag. Oh my God, if I get it, I'll be working with it every day. But I don't really do design things. So for me, I'm a simple person. I don't do those things. But you can do those things. I'm not saying don't do it. You can buy Gucci bag. You can buy your Mercedes Benz. You can have everything you want. But what's your priority? We have somebody who just, I've seen people who have passed on. They've left Mercedes Benz. They've left mortgages paid. They've left everything, but yet they didn't have life insurance. Now we have to changa for them. People start saying, but how can we sell their car? In this country, you cannot just sell anybody's car. It's not that easy. Or even in Kenya, I'm sure it's not that easy. So priorities are very important. Now we have material things all covered. We have our phones covered, our cars covered, our gadgets covered, the house contents covered. We have our business covered, the equipment's covered. But the most person who is supposed to be covered is yourself, because it's you who is paying for all these material things to be covered. So if you're not there, those material things cannot be covered. If your health is not there, those material things cannot be covered. So we need to first of all, the priority should be me as Lydia, me as Evelyn, me as Susan, me as Dr. Pam. Am I covered first? And then my phone, my car, my this, the house contents. I see people that they have a washing machine covered, fridge covered, TV covered. They don't even realize that they can put all this. Yeah, they don't even realize that they can put all these things together and cover them under one umbrella and save like £20 a month. They don't realize that, but we're going back to the beginning of this topic, awareness, awareness, awareness. So what do you think about these material things and priority, Evelyn?
At the end of the day, everything starts from you, right? You cannot help other person if you've not helped yourself. So you have a house, you have a family, you have a job. Isn't something wrong if you're not taking charge of your own life? I mean, just think about it. And sometimes maybe our community, we need these hard talks. I don't know that that's what's going to move our communities.
Yeah.
But then that's where we have the life insurance, because the life insurance will cover all the reservoirs. That's the only immediate funds that you can get if anything was to happen. And I don't even talk about death, because death happens. I miss Jui. It's when an illness happens. And then you just see things going away. Because in the US, for example, 60% of foreclosures, 40% of it is tied towards a critical or a chronic illness. So we come back to Susan, you. I like the word that you said, use life insurance as I think in my mind I was thinking buffer, but you said something different. Use it as that tool that will preserve your dignity too, even when you're sick. Because now you're not just thinking you're thinking more of wellness versus illness and how to recover. So we really have to get down to it. And I know there are different kinds of life insurance in the US. I don't know what most viewers could have. You could have just a regular life insurance, but you want to make sure that your life insurance has what's called living benefits, which of course we will get into it, which is you can accelerate a portion of your death benefit when you're sick. That way, you're not tapping into your savings. That way, you're not tapping into your kids' college fund. You're not tapping into your equity, because ultimately, 90% of people have health insurance that will take care of your health, take care of the doctor's bills. It's the other things. Who's going to take care of that Mercedes you have, that house that you have, the daycare? Who's going to take care of that? So we're back to the basics, getting sure that you have the right kind of life insurance.
Thank you very much, Evelyn, for that. Okay, so I'll go to Dr. Pam. What do you think about all the material things versus priority?
Lydia, I'm just like you. I'm cheap. Before I go, I buy a 5,000 Gucci bag. I think about it. I would be thinking about my money. And as you said, people have to prioritize. People have to prioritize about what is more important. Is it your family or is it the material things? And as Evelyn said, we have life insurance with benefits. You can borrow. Actually, I remember I and my cousin Gladys talking about life insurance with benefits. She said, you know what? I use my life insurance to borrow money if I need it, sometimes instead of asking people for money. For me, it goes back again to what I've been talking about, educating, being sensitized to our community, educating them, telling them what kind of insurance works best for them, and how is it going to work to help them other than death. You see what I'm saying? If you take life insurance, this life insurance is not only going to help you or your family when you die, but you can actually borrow against your life insurance when you have accumulated a certain amount of money. So I still will go with the life insurance. I will still go with the even back home, people work in good companies, because I know back home in Kenya, let's just be realistic, Lydia. For somebody back in Kenya, some people don't have jobs. Some people cannot even afford to buy food. But on the other hand, we have people who work in good companies. Like my brother used to work with NSSF. He took life insurance. He died young. He died in his early 30s. He just had a young family. And guess what? His family was paid life insurance them days. So it works. It works, people. It works. Yeah. And if you need to get more information, you can always ask. Evelyn is here, Susan is here, Lydia is here. We have other people in the community that we trust. You can always inbox us. I just finished. I am not a guru in that, but I would always ask people who know to help you. You know me, I like being honest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pam. Okay, I'll go to Susan.
The Gucci bag and all that classic stuff. The reason why, okay, it is good. I say that we live once. And the reason why you find people going and doing the impulse buying is because of they have a lot of disposable income. So my advice would be, if you have been able, the priority that you're talking about, as long as you have been able to put that money aside, that you have a budget that you know at the end of every month, this is what I need to put, this is money for my insurance, this is money for this and this and this, then whatever that remains, then you can do you can buy your bag. But again, you don't need all those bags, so you only, okay, let's not go there. Yes, insurance, it's, I know for like here in Kenya, and I know even in the other places, that having a car insurance is a must. So you'll find people, they are the ones even who call you to tell you that I need a car insurance, medical covers. But when it comes to life covers, you have to, you have to follow up for the people to take these covers. The reason being, yes, like Dr. Pam is saying, we need to educate people on importance of having an insurance, because what they believe is anytime they see an insurance person, they think that we're just talking about death. That the only thing that the life cover will do is death. So it's like you have come and you're coming with a death certificate. So when you get there, they tell you, mimi sitakufa, mimi sikufi. But the thing is, we don't know the day that it will happen, and it is a risk. And apart from having insurance, like I know, Lydia, you told us your product, they don't pay anything. The insurance policies that you have in UK, they don't pay. So for Kenya, you take policies as an investment, as a savings plan, where we are looking at your goals. What do you want to achieve in 10 years? So you take this plan, let's say it's a 10-year plan, and the goal that you have for that money in 10 years is, let's say you want to build your house, but it comes with an inbuilt life cover. So in case anything would have happened to you between that time and the 10 years, your family, your next of kin will be paid the life cover, which is now the sum assured, plus all the bonuses. So people should not run away from life covers. They are very important. It is a springboard. Insurance now becomes a springboard for your life. So it is a parachute that you don't need every day, but you might need it on one particular day. So people should just take the life policies, but it is our duty to go out there, talk to people. But even the people out there, please, they also need to open up for us so that they can listen to us. I have gone to places that have been chased away. When you to insurance, we don't take insurance people here because they don't want to hear about all this. So we need to have such talks more so that we are able to let people learn what it is when you talk about insurance.
Okay. Thank you very much. And just to blow the bubble, just to break that bubble, we are all going to die someday, regardless of how you say, I want to die at 100. Even if you get to 100 and you die, you've died. Yeah, even that 100 that you think, mi nitaishi mpaka 100. That's why I hear so many people telling me, but lakini nachukua tu, lakini si ati nitakufa, nitaishi mpaka 100, nitaishi mpaka sijui what. So mimi ni Mkristo. And if we use those words that mimi ni Mkristo sitakufa, that means that the ones that died when they were younger, they were not Christians. So I always say, be careful, because if you're saying, I'm a Christian, so I will not die. So the ones that died are not Christians. You're trying to tell me that. And I always say, if you show me in the Bible where Jesus said that if you're a Christian, you will not physically die, I will never give insurance again. But there is nowhere that says that in the Bible. The Bible only says spiritually, if you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ, you shouldn't even be saying those things, because Jesus did not say that physical death was not promised for anybody, but it's spiritual death. If you die spiritually, you will still live. And that's what I know about the Bible that I read. But physical death, we will all die someday. So talking about insurance, first of all, does not mean you're going to die. Talking about insurance is putting your house in order. That's what I always say, put your house in order, okay? So before we talk about the policies that we provide, once again, I want to say thank you for everybody who is watching. Thank you for all the viewers on Facebook. I always don't want you to feel like, oh, we are here on Zoom and you're there on Facebook. We are together. So somebody said good information right there. Thank you, ladies. Oh, Dr. Pam, I can see you there. And someone say, how did I miss this? You've not missed it. We just started. So we are still here. Thank you so much. Good points. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in. And like I say again, Mariam just tuned in. And I have some people here who are always here watching. That means they're always supporting and helping. Please share. Keep on sharing. I've seen we have more than 80 shares now, but keep on sharing, guys. Don't stop sharing. Don't stop tagging your friends and your comments and your questions. You can ask questions. We have panelists here. We have people who know their product. I have Evelyn here and Pam who are in the other continent, America, so they can talk about that because I don't know their products. We also have Susan, who is in a different continent, Kenya. I don't know the products in Kenya, so she can actually enlighten us when it comes to that. And I'm in the UK, and I know my products in the UK. So if you have questions, you can ask. And please, if you're being educated, please share it. Don't be selfish. Don't be mean. Share it with your friends. So share, share, and share. Somebody said, I've been preaching about this, but our people most have deaf ears. Then Cash App and GoFundMe's are very high. It's true, Alex. GoFundMe is high and cash is high. And just like Evelyn touched this before, if you have a target in America, apparently it's $15. In the UK,
it's 15,000.
Oh, $15,000, Jesus, $15,000 just for repatriation. But in the UK, we have cheap ones and we also have expensive ones. But mostly the people always say 10,000 is the target. But we spoke about that target, that if we reach the target and we take somebody home, what happens to your family now? What happens to your children? Will they stop going to school now? You know, so thank you so much, Alex, and keep on talking. Don't stop. Keep up, keep up, keep up. Because we are here, we never stop. You've seen Susan have been chased some places. Me too, people have told me, come to my house when I go, they're not there. Call me tomorrow. Oh, Lydia, this is so good. I like it. Call me tomorrow. I call them, they block me. So it's and I'm sure Evelyn as well have experienced the same. And with Pam hasn't started selling insurance yet, but when she starts, I'm sure she's going to get the same. So there's so much rejection when it comes to insurance. There's so much rejection. People will abuse you. People will block you. People will do every sort. But you know, the funny thing is, guys, people who are watching me and my panelists, when hell breaks loose with these people, they'll come back to you and call you and say, oh, Lydia, now I have this. It's too late. I can't help you because the time you had your life and you're meant to do it, you couldn't do it, but now it's too late. So they'll still come back. When they close the door, when they block you, they'll unblock you and come back one day. So don't worry, Susan and Evelyn and myself and Pam, when you join us, don't worry. Okay, so thank you very much, our viewers. Now we're going to talk about the products, life insurance. How it works in the UK is different from how it works in America and in Kenya. In the UK, we have 3 different products when it comes to life insurance. We have one called family income. If you are to die, God forbid, they pay your family every month until your last child is 23 years old in full-time education. And then we have one that pays a lump sum to your family. If you're to die, God forbid, he pays the lump sum to your family. He also pays for terminal illness. And now this is where people get confused of terminal illness and critical illness. Now, life insurance in the UK only covers life and terminal illness. And terminal illness, the doctor have to tell you that you only have 12 months to live. If you have a terminal illness, it doesn't matter what terminal illness it is. It can be cancer stage 4, it can be your liver, your kidney, whatever it is. And the doctors say, oh, but you still have 2 years to live. The insurance will not pay you. It has to be 12 months and under, and they'll pay you all your sum assured. Okay. And we also, in terms of the life insurance, we also have family. We can cover you as a woman or husband and your children, or we can cover just individually. And when it comes to joint policies in the UK, there's 2 ways as well of joint policies. There's a one payoff. They'll only pay one partner who dies first, and that is it. Insurance is done. Or they'll pay different partners. So life insurance we have different types of life insurance in the UK. But one thing is, somebody says, oh, so only when I die, I get the money. Yes, the money is only when you die, but there's so many benefits attached to life insurance in the UK. There's free counseling if you have life insurance. There's so many services that you can use way before you die. And it's not just you, it's you and your children and your family, your husband or your wife. There's free there's free counseling anytime you want it. There's free physiotherapy anytime you want it. There is 24/7 doctors you can call. There's a second opinion if the doctor says, oh, I'm so sorry, Lydia, God forbid, but you have cancer. And I'm like, no, I disagree. I want a second opinion. I can go to my insurance company. They'll give me the best doctors and they'll give me the second opinion. They can prescribe medication for me from the best doctor, so I don't have to take it from my GP. There's face-to-face consultation. If I have an issue, I can have a face-to-face consultation with the doctor. So there is endless benefits if you have life insurance. So forget about only when I die. No, there is so much benefits attached to it in the UK. So that is the life insurance we give in the UK. And also, repatriation benefit is also there. If you have life insurance, there's also repatriation. But that's, again, is in the UK. So now I've spoken about life insurance in the UK. I'm going to now ask Evelyn as well to explain to us how life insurance works in the US. And if you have any question in regards the UK life insurance, please get in touch with moi, Lydia.
Thank you. Lydia, thank you. I feel like I want to take a portion of UK and dump it to the US because it sounds so amazing. I mean, like counseling, I'm like, are you talking about life insurance and not health insurance?
Yeah, life insurance. Life insurance, there's free counseling. And you know how much counseling it's worth? Yeah. It's a lot of money.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. I'm going to say the British accent. That's a lot. Well, at the end of the day, you know, there are different companies in the US. At the end of the day, two types of life insurance. There's a term policy and there's a permanent policy. So how I help people differentiate the difference is term is like you're renting a house or you're renting an apartment. Every year, if you are renting it for a year, so if you want to renew it, then if you're paying $1,000, so next year it's not going to be 1,000. It's going to be maybe 1,050. The second year you want to stay at the same place, it's going to be goes up again by another $50. So it's going to be 1,100. So when we look at it according to a policy, so term could be either 10-year term, 15-year term, 20-year term, or 30-year term. Again, it depends on how young you are. If you're 70, there's no way you can get a 30-year term. You could probably get a 10, right? So terms are conditional. So when your term is finished, you want to renew it, it's more expensive. Right? You didn't die within the last 20 years, the money that you had put in. So there are different kinds. There's what's called return of premium, where you'll receive back the premiums that you'd put in if you did not die during that 30 years. And there's also, which is a little bit more expensive, but there's also the other regular term. After your 20 years or your 30 years is done, you never died or you never got sick, then adios, you want to renew it, it's much more expensive, right? So I still love term policies. I have term policy for my own reasons, but there's also permanent policies. So under permanent policies like you own a house. So when you own a house, you have an equity. So you can use your equity for whatever reason. And I think that's the thing that's missing in yours, Lydia, but Susan, you have yours. So you have money that you can borrow from it, and you can use that money for anything. So under permanent, there's whole life, there's universal, there's index universal, and there's variable. So it just depends on who you want to work with, because there's some companies, if you want to work with, you have to get different kind of licenses, so to speak. So those two kind of policies. But then what I love is some companies that we represent. So as you mentioned, yours, most insurance companies will have a terminal illness rider, whereby if someone is terminally ill, you can accelerate a portion of your death benefit. Yours is 12 months. Ours, when the doctor certified, depends on the state. It could either be 12 years or 12 months or 24 months. Depends on the state, right? So the states also have a say onto how much can be accelerated. But there are companies that we represent that some of them have critical illness. So critical illness are the ones that are happening within our community: heart attacks, stroke, cancers. There are about 16 of them, if any of one of those happens. And then there is a chronic illness rider. So the chronic illness rider, and I'm sure Dr. Pam will get into this a little bit, the chronic illness riders is when one is unable to perform any 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. So eating, toileting, bathing, dressing, transferring, and continence. You're unable to do any 2 of those, they would pay out. Again, depends on the state. Some states, they pay the facility. Some states, they can pay you monthly for 50 months, as an example. So I give an example. I always say one of Winston Churchill's quotes is, "He who fails to plan is planning to fail."
Mm-hmm.
You can get a term policy, still has the living benefits. Case in point, woman who's 45 years old, female, gets a $500,000 term policy for 20 years. Say, for example, she's paying $66. So at 65, this policy, she can no longer pay $66. Maybe it could be something like $300 a month. It goes up because now she's 65, it's more expensive. However, during those 20 years, she paid $14,800. It's like you're playing gamble. Huh? Is it gamble? No. Like chess, not chess. When you go to the casino, what is it called?
Yeah, gambling, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like you're gambling your life. Fuchs. So okay, do I gamble 14,008 or 500,000? You never know what's going to happen during that time of your life. So if you're to get sick, then you have access to a portion of your 500,000. But if you didn't, you're now 65, guess what? That policy is gone. That's why I always say, get 2, get a term and get a permanent. Just play around. At the end of the day, you want to safeguard what's yours. You want to safeguard your incomes and just find a way to safeguard it. So you can start small and then look at other different types. But at the end of the day, find policies that give you living benefits, because this is a country whereby people are not dying. Technology is getting better. This country, you ain't gonna die. They'll find a cure for you. It's just, how do you wanna live? How do you wanna live? How do you wanna live? Better live with money. It helps.
Don't tell people they're not gonna die, because now if they die, their family will come on to you and say, but you say they're not gonna die.
Oh, so come on. They know they will die. It's written somewhere. They know they'll die.
Why did my daughter, my son, my mom, my dad die? Evelyn say they're not gonna die.
Oh, they will die. They will die.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Not sooner. This is technology.
Before I go to Susan to tell us about the life insurance policies that they have in place, I'll go to Dr. Pamela, because they're all in the same continent with Evelyn.
Okay.
Oh, you're muted, Dr. Pam.
Sorry. The way thank you, Lydia. The way Evelyn has explained, she has done a wonderful job. The only thing I would also say, Lydia, that we forget to say is that, especially for us single women, when you have like a house, also take the insurance where they call it the decreasing insurance, where in case you die, they can actually pay for your mortgage. so that if you have your children in there, you have an 18-year-old or 20-year-old, they can still live in that house, and the benefits will pay for the house, so that your children don't have to go and live with somebody else. They can still stay in their home, and that benefit pays everything for that. So if anybody needs more help, they can always ask. We can always, they can ask Evelyn, or I can guide them to the right person.
Thank you, Dr. Pam. In fact, talking about the decreasing insurance for the mortgage, it works differently in the UK. Just before I go to Susan as well, it works different in the UK. We do have the decreasing policy, and if you have a mortgage, it's vital. In fact, I wouldn't even say important. Important is not even the word. You need to have insurance for your mortgage, because if you were to die, God forbid, the insurance will pay for your mortgage. But with the UK, I don't know if it's there in the US, we have something called 40% inheritance tax. So your children cannot just take that house. They have to pay the 40% inheritance tax that Queen takes the money. And I won't say that loud, but that's 40% inheritance tax. So in the UK, people, is not the same as Kenya or US. You have to think about that. Decreasing insurance policy, we also call it decreasing, but don't forget the 40% inheritance tax that you have to pay. It's the value of your property, not the outstanding balance, but the value of your property. Okay, so thank you very much. And if you want to know more about that and you're in the UK regards to mortgage insurance, please contact me. But if you're in America, of course, it's Evelyn or Dr. Pam who can direct you as well to an agent who will help you. Okay, thank you so much. So Susan, please, how does your life insurance in Kenya work?
Thank you, Lydia. And it is great that I'm here. I have learned a lot, the other products that you have in the diasporas. So I love talking about the solutions, because after talking about the risk, now the solutions comes here. So in Kenya, we have several products, but the way we have put them is that we have Pure Life, that is protection policies, where you can take for a specified time. Our products and Evelyn's, they seem to be, there is some similarities in them. The difference is this: when you take a Pure Life protection, you can take for a lifetime. Somebody says, I would want to be insured until I get to the year 60 years. So you contribute either 60 years or 55 years. So you contribute up to that time. Come that time, you don't continue contributing, and it is lifetime. So from there, you are covered until death. Whatever time that death will occur, even if you stay for 150 years, the family, that is when they will be paid. And again, we have another one that you give a specified term. Let's say you can say you want to take for 10 years, for 15 years, 20 years, up to that, let's say 30 years. So when somebody takes that plan, once we hit the maturity that is either 10 years or 15 years, we give you back how much you had contributed with no interest. We're just giving you back. But the good thing about this plan, it has a very high life, their life cover, it's a huge life cover, but at least you get back your savings. So that is Pure Life and protection. We also have investment protection. So this is where we combine the protection that we are talking about, plus the life, the investment. So the same way you can take a plan, let's say for 10 years, for 15 years, 20 years, or even 25 years. The younger you are, the better. So once you take that, you will be saving on, you can either save on monthly basis, on annual basis, quarterly, or even half yearly. Come maturity, we will pay the life. There is a life cover that will be tied to that, and then the life cover we work on it depending with your the term, the year, that is your age, and then the premiums that you're contributing. So with that, we come up with the value, that is the sum assured, the life cover. So for these products, each and every year we will top up. There's a bonus that we put to the life to the life cover every year, and come maturity, you also give a maturity bonus. So if somebody lives to the end of the policy, that is 20 years, 15 years, or whichever the term, then we'll give them the life cover plus all the bonuses. God forbid they go before that time, we will give the family the life cover plus the bonuses, the annual bonuses that had accrued along the way. But apart from that, we have also put the riders, but these ones are usually optional. It is you to choose. You would put a rider on critical illness such that in case it occurs, somebody is paid 30% when it occurs, and then the 70% of the life cover will be paid plus bonuses at the end of the term. You can also input the permanent total disability such that if somebody has a permanent total disability, they will be paid at that point the sum assured, that is a life cover, and then the policy continues until the end of the term. Because we understand that once you have the disability, then the ability to earn is limited. The other rider that you can put into that is a
Tell them what's a rider. Tell them what's a rider too, so that they can understand in layman language. The rider.
It is an added benefit to the life cover policy. So you input an added benefit in case I get critical illness. In case they have critical illness, then you are paid a percentage of 30% of your life cover as at that point, and then the policy now at that point will continue contributing until the end of the time. In case, but for death, it is inbuilt. That one you don't have to add anything on it, and whenever you take the policies, the life cover has death inbuilt. So in case it occurs, then we pay the next of kin, the sum assured, as I said, plus the bonuses. So this is where the investment and the protection, this is where we come in and also save for our kids.
Yeah.
So we have an education policy.
Susan, yes. we're just talking about insurance. We're just talking about life only. Right now, you're touching about so many things, but we're just talking about life first because we have to break them down. So you're putting everything together. So we are breaking it down. So we started with life first.
Yes.
So as you've spoken about life, so we're going to talk about the critical and the income protection a little bit later. Okay. So now I'm going to say thank you again because we have people asking questions. So I'm going to say thank you again for everybody watching on Facebook. Thank you so much, and continue sharing. Share please with your friends, share with other people so they can also get the education that you're getting, so they can also be educated and motivated just like you are. Keep on sharing with your friends. I will speak to you. Okay, somebody said they'll speak to me when they're ready. They're not ready yet. Okay, that's good. So when you're ready, just call me. And somebody asked a question, what's the difference between life insurance? And I'll throw this question to you, Evelyn. What's the difference between life insurance and life assurance? Okay, so don't answer it yet, but I'll give you time to answer. So just think about that. What's the difference between life insurance and life assurance? I'll also come to that and say, because I know this person lives in the US, that's why I said you answer it first, and then I'll answer UK as well. And then somebody also asked, but I don't know where this person, which country this person is, employment insurance, how does it work? Secondly, in case of disability, either outside work or at work, what happens then? Okay, so we have two questions here to answer. So first I'll go to Walter. Walter is here. Say hello to Walter. Hello, Walter. I just want Walter to tell us if insurance works or not. This is my client that was giving me hard time and I forced him to take insurance. Go on, Walter.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And I'll say I gave Lydia a hard time to get insurance. I met her after a function, went to a pub and we sat down. Of course, she doesn't drink. I had my drink just to clear the air. And I told her, well, I'll think about insurance because I'd got insurances through banks before. All the high street banks you can talk about in the UK, I'd got insurances before, but they did not work for me. So when Lydia came with a product, I said, okay, another one again. Okay, let me try and buy her off and tell her, I'll go and talk to my wife, I'll go and do this. But she insisted. And then I said, okay, let me give her a try. So I took the insurance And a year down the line, COVID came, and I was a victim of COVID. And I took life insurance and critical illness and one which covers you when you don't work.
Income protection.
Yeah. So the income protection covered me when I was not working for about 2 or 3 months. And that covered me when I had the COVID, because I was away from work, and my work I was doing, they were not paying me for being away. So that covered me to cover for my family and my bills and everything else. That's what I'm saying. Insurance does work. And I know many people may doubt whatever Lydia is talking about. Maybe she talks too much, or she's talking too much and this and that, but she's just trying to bring people on, Yeah. I'm sure she puts me in the spotlight, but I put her back on. So back to you, Lydia.
Oh, thank you so much.
I learned 2 things. Lydia, meet you at the pub. Lydia talks too much. Good. Lydia, good agent. Aggressive agent.
Most agents talk too much.
Talk too much. And I'm telling you, this my client gave me, and I didn't know him. That was the first time I met him. And I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to leave this guy without insurance. No way. And he didn't even tell you that when we went to the pub, we got checked twice because the pub was closing because he didn't want to take insurance. And I wasn't going home. So I kept him on, and we went to one pub. They told us we're closing. We went to another pub, and I was just drinking my water. And I thought, you must take insurance. So after he got his pay, when he had COVID, he actually told me to review it. So I've reviewed him, just like Dr. Pam said earlier, that you need to talk to your clients. I've reviewed him again, and I've given him again a different product, and it worked for him. I have insurances. I've never even claimed anything, and I don't want to claim. I just thank God that I'm healthy and everything. I don't have to claim, but I have my insurances in place. So if anything was to happen to me, God forbid, I have something. So I'm going to Evelyn to answer that question.
Do we want to, because I know we have 15 minutes to go. I could always respond to them on the chat.
Okay.
So let's just keep going.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're going to respond to you, the difference between insurance and life and assurance, and also employment insurance. We're going to talk to you on the chat. We're going to respond. So thank you very much, everybody, again for tuning in. Please continue sharing. Now, critical illness. I don't know if you guys have critical illness as a separate product, but in the UK, we have critical illness. And critical illness, I know, Evelyn, you're talking about things like cancer, stroke, heart attack, multiple sclerosis, liver, kidney, 3rd-degree burns, total death, total blind. All those here in the UK are termed as critical illness. But for us, we do have more numbers. We have some company, depending with the company as well, we have 58 illnesses. We have up to 178 illnesses covered under critical illness, depending with the company that you're taking your insurance policy with. So we have from 58 to 178. They're covered. But these critical illnesses, you have to have a policy in place before diagnosis. So you can't come after you've been diagnosed and say, oh, now I want a critical illness. They will never give you critical illness. They will only give you life insurance. So if you come to me and say, I have a critical illness already, yes, they'll still give you insurance, but they'll only give you life. They're not going to give you critical. And that's why it's very important that you can put that money, little money aside to also have a critical illness in place. So if you have critical, they'll give you a lump sum. According to how much money you're putting in as your premium, that will determine how much sum assured they're going to give you at the end of the day. So that's how our critical illnesses work in the UK. We have it as an add-on. That's a totally different product. It's not built in life insurance like Kenya one or UK or America. It's a totally different product. So how does that work in America, critical illness?
So, again, I feel like I could take all the critical illnesses, but ours, so it depends. There are some companies who have it separately. You can get a critical illness on its own, like you're getting a policy, just critical illness on its own. But then there are also very, very, very few companies who have that add on to the, it's already added on to the policy. Very, very few companies. And that's the thing, you know, if 70 million Americans have a life insurance, they probably have it for death purposes only. But then we are telling them for probably the same amount of money you're paying for that, there is this with a critical illness added on and a chronic illness and a terminal illness. Why would you want to go for this when there could be this? There are more chances of people getting sick than dying immediately. So it's and again, there are about 750 insurance companies. Very few of them have those critical illness and critical injury riders, you know, attached to the policy. Mostly you'll have to get it on your own. So some people might have a disability insurance on their own. But then there are very many different companies who have policies that they sell separately. So most of the time people don't know what they're getting. They could go to the bank and you know, get accidental insurance, yet there are some policies that have accidental insurance attached to it. So imagine, even I am as an agent, I'm already so confused of what's there. What about the layman? And that's what Dr. Pam was saying, you know, going back to educating people what they have. So we need to see, if you're not sure what you have, let's talk. It's a free consultation. I could help you understand what your policy is. And at the end of the day, it's up to you. You make that final decision, what you want to keep and what you want to have.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Lydia, can I add on that?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. One thing I also, Lydia, advise people, because I know the agents want to sign them and we want to help them. But Lydia also encourage people, if truly they can't get insurance outside their jobs, if their jobs, because we have majority of the people we have in USA, Lydia, are either nurses, seniors, nursing assistants, working in healthcare, phlebotomy, whatever, and working in nursing homes, whatever they are working. If they're working full-time and it's a big company which has over 50 people, usually they give insurance. If they cannot take insurance from an agent, please take that group insurance. At least you will be covered, and make sure if it has disability, you'll be covered at your place of work. I always want to give people information so they can know. And then when you are covered, usually they give them certificate, know what is covered in your insurance. Also, Lydia, one thing that is good with the insurance that if they take from work is that you're given like a month. If you're fired or if you left the work without committing a crime, you have over 1 month to continue with that insurance as an individual. So don't forget, sometimes our people, when they leave a job, that insurance goes like that. But they should know that there is a clause where they can be covered within 1 month and they can continue with the coverage they have, but now they're going to pay it. Also, it is important, if that happens, they can contact any agent so that they can educate them what to do immediately. You're fired and you know you are taking that insurance from your job, your life insurance, your whatever insurance, contact an agent and make sure that they explain to you what to do next. I think that is also important. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you very much. So in Kenya, do you have a critical illness as a product or as an add-on? I think you started explaining it, Susan, so just explain it quick.
Yeah. For us, it is not as a standalone. It has to go with other products as a rider, is an add-on. So that is a critical illness, then the accidental death benefit, and the critical illness accidental death benefit, as well as you can also have you can also add the cover on what do you call it, the last expense still on those places.
Okay, I think we're losing you there, Susan.
You got
You're
me?
breaking up.
No, it's fine. Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, sorry. Now I'm okay.
Yeah.
You can
You
hear
know,
me?
yeah, I can hear you, Susan. Go on.
I said that the critical illness, permanent total disability, those ones, we don't have them as a standalone. We only have as add-on to the life covers.
Okay. Okay. You know, as
Yes.
somebody who is in insurance, I feel like I really want to ask so many questions to you guys, but I can't because me too, I'm supposed, I feel like I want to just start asking Susan questions and Evelyn questions. And I don't know why people are not asking the questions that I'm thinking I should be asking you guys, but it's because I'm in the business. Like one day I really grilled Susan. We were in one forum and I totally grilled her because I knew what I was talking about. Okay, so now income protection, that's what Walter claimed from income protection. How this works in the UK is if you're sick, you're fired. No, not fired, sorry. If you're sick, you're injured or you're in an accident, they will not pay you if you're fired or you're made redundant or you decided to quit your job because you hate it for whatever reason, or you hate your boss for whatever reason. They're not going to pay you. They only pay if you're sick, you're injured, or you're in an accident. And they only pay you up to 65% of your annual income. So if your annual income is 30K, they only pay you up to 65% of your annual income. Some people might think, well, that's not enough. It is enough because you're in the house, you're sick, you have no work, like what happened to Walter. He had no work. The work was not paying him nothing. So that 65% is actually a lot of money. It's a lot of money for you to get at that particular time when you're still home because you're sick, you can't go to work. But what happens is, because a lot of people don't have it, when they're sick, they still have to go to work. Now, I have my leg is broken or whatever happens to you and you can't go to work, but you still have to go to work because bills don't care. Your children will tell you, oh, I'm so sorry, mommy, I'm so sorry, daddy, but I still want, because they see you as a provider. Whether you're sick or not, they're thinking in their head, you're still getting paid, sleeping on that bed. So now, because you cannot provide for your family, what happens? Stress, depression. Before you know it, you're in debt, you're in depression, just because you could not put aside some money to cover you for your income protection. Or you have to go to work and then your body now gives in and says, you know what, Lydia, I'm not doing this anymore. And then what happens? Of course, you're going to be bedridden. So we have that income protection to help you on your recovery so that you can recover 100% and then go back to work. And if you go back to work, then they'll stop paying you the 65% because now you've gone back to work. So for us, that's how income protection works in the UK. So I don't know if you have that same thing in America, Evelyn?
So not necessarily the way you've defined it, Lydia. Again, I want to pick up your policies and bring it here. So not that way. The way some policies would work with the ones with the living benefits, the one with the critical or the chronic or the terminal illness, is you're taking a portion of your death benefit, and whatever you do with it, it's up to you. So if you're sick and you got, say, 200,000, well, that's 200,000, a portion of it came from your death benefit. And you can use it for whatever reason, because you understand now you can't go to work. So in a way, it's an income, you're getting an income, but it's because you got this policy that had the living benefits in it and something happened to you. You had either terminal, a chronic, or a critical illness or a critical injury. Again, policies are very different. But the policies that I deal with, majority of them have those riders. That's why it's really critical for people to look into their policies and see what they have. Go to that place where it says accelerated living benefits. And then, or look at the place that says riders on your policy. Then go to that page and see how many riders you have in there. If you have a question, call me, because that's the first place you want to look into to see what kind of riders you have. If anything happens, what's your plan B? What's your plan B? Yeah.
Okay,
also, Lydia, they can call Evelyn, but I also think that the person who signed you, whoever signed you, like for me, Lena, my niece, I keep bringing her up. She's like, Auntie Pam, stop that. Lena signed me. When I have a problem, I call her. I am like, Lena, what does this mean? You know, because they signed you. If they truly are good people, they should be able to explain to you. But also, you can come to any one of us, especially if you're in USA. I said we have other agents, different agents, but the one who is here today is Evelyn, who has taken her time to come and explain to you. You can call her, and then she can explain to you whatever you are not understanding. But at the same time, if you have, because we are here to serve you as a community. If you have insurance, you are in Minnesota, you're whatever you are, Texas, you know, like Lydia, I'm going again. Like now in Texas, they had, you know, blackout and everything. Sometimes those insurances, if there's a flood and whatever, there is a way they can cover. Remember, I was talking about the insurance and whatever. So ask your agent, whoever signed you, ask them, they owe you to talk to you and explain to you so that you understand what you have. That is very, very key.
That's important.
That's very important. Call them. But then what I've understood in this industry, especially in the US, I don't know about the UK or in Kenya, there's a 2-year turnaround. The agents really, it's because sometimes people think it's you know, you want to make that money easily. It's not. And so some people give up really quickly. And so there are lots of people out there who don't even have an agent. So if you call and the person, you had a relationship with them and they tell you they're not an agent, maybe call the company. And if you call the company, they might direct you to somebody else. But again, just look at what you have. And sometimes when you have those term policies, you're not losing anything by switching. Or if you have a permanent policy, as how long you've had the policy, we can roll over the money. There's something called a 1035 exchange to a new company where you can get new benefits. The thing is, protect yourself when you're still healthy, because you don't know about tomorrow. We just heard from Walter, you know, and I know you're in the UK, but it doesn't matter. You know, COVID hit so many of us, so many people here. Our policies too had, if you had COVID and you could not work for 90 days, you could tap into the chronic illness rider. How many people even knew about that?
Very few, very few.
Very few. Exactly.
And that's why it's important again to come back to us as the people who are creating awareness regards insurance. And that's why, like I said, if you're in the US, contact Evelyn, because she's an agent and she actually took her time and came here, just like Pamela said. So she's the one here, and she's the one that I know that does this thing, and I'm in contact with her, and I know that she does a good job. I've had clients from US who have spoken to, and that's even how I met her, because of a client, through client. So if you're in the US and you want to get insurance, please contact Evelyn. And Evelyn, please put your details down as well. And I'll just say what somebody said. Somebody saying, if you reside in the US, and I presume, okay, so that one is somebody answering somebody that asked a question. And some conditions are covered by Medicare automatically. How does that work? I know Evelyn will go there and answer those questions, because we don't have Medicare here in the UK. So I'm sure that's probably someone asking from America or in Kenya as well. And disability benefits, long-term and short-term disability, provide living benefits in addition. If you have end-stage disability, Social Security benefits will take care of you if you live in the US. Very good information, Dr. Pam. Most of the agents don't explain, they just want to sign you. Okay, so this is what we don't want to hear again. Evelyn and Susan, Lydia or Lex, we don't want any single person coming here to tell us that we agents, we don't explain, all we want to do is sign them off. If anybody was to call me and say that about you, Evelyn, or about you, Susan, or if anybody was to call you, Evelyn or Susan, and tell you that about myself, we failed. We have failed our community. So we shouldn't do that, okay? So don't worry, Florence Kamunto, we will explain, and normally every single person in the UK who knows me, they know that I explain in details. Sometimes I'm on the phone for 3 hours with one client because they don't understand. I explain, they don't understand. I don't get angry. I make sure that by the time I say goodbye, they understand 100% what they're paying for. So that's very important. So income
Lydia,
protection.
can I add to that?
Yes.
Like what Dr. Pam has said, and also Evelyn, that it is good that we review our clients, because what you find is most of the times when you are doing the first paperwork and all that, everybody is excited. They don't even get to understand these policies better. But when you are taking the paperwork now, that should be the time that you should be reviewing all that this person has taken and asking them whether they know, they have an idea of what they have bought. Because I think that is where most of the times somebody is excited on the first day, then they take up the policy. When you take the paperwork, they don't read, they keep it. Then if you don't explain to them at that point, then you lose them.
So Susan, also Lydia, this is also so important. They need to know where, when the people get their insurance, don't go through those papers, I don't know where. Make sure, especially for me, because I'm a single mother, my oldest son knows where my policy is. I put it in a place where they can get it just in case something happens to me, it is there for them. Because sometimes life happens and they don't think about it, but because you just mentioned, you know, like I mentioned to my oldest son, I said, you know, don't touch those papers. Those are my life insurance policy. They're up there near my bed. So why do we do this? Because sometimes things happen and your children will not know anything. Like whatever you have, you want to make sure that, especially for us who are single or those ones who have husbands or whatever, make sure your family know. Make sure you mention something, whatever you have, whatever property. Like I have my Roth IRAs, I have my blockage, I have whatever investment I have put my kids to be my beneficiary, but I make sure my kids know, I make sure my cousin in Dallas knows, my best friend Lynette knows where these things are. Just in case I'm not here, my kids don't have to be running like crazy. They know these things, where to find them. That is very, very important too for whoever is watching today.
Yeah, thank you very much that you spoke about that, because I've spoken about that with Evelyn before and Susan regards trust. And I know it's totally different from Kenya and the UK. But before I now touch the trust, I just want to say again, if you're watching, please, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. But it's very, very important that, I don't know if that noise is from me, but I'll just mute everybody and then I see if it's from me, because there's a funny noise that is coming up. But when you want to talk, you can just unmute yourself. So there's if you want to get, it's very important to have insurance, guys. But if you're in the US, you know, you can contact Evelyn anytime, or you can also contact Dr. Pam, who will direct you to the right place. But Evelyn is actually an agent. That's what she does. This is an area of expertise. And if you're in Kenya, you can also contact Susan. It's not going to Susan. Susan is not going to give you insurance called Susan Mwangi Insurance. She works for an insurance company that is certified. And same as Evelyn, and same as myself, we work for big insurance companies that are certified, not Lydia Tet Olet Insurance Company. I'll run with your money, that was me. Anyway, now we have bank insurance in the UK. I don't know how it works in the US and in Kenya, but bank insurance, if you are in the UK and you have insurance from the bank, and that's even what Walter had before, 90% of bank insurance are only accidental death. So unless you die through accident, you're not going to get paid. And we're going back again to creating awareness and informing our community of how insurance works. But a lot of Kenyans, I would say, because a lot of my clients are Kenyans and I've seen them, they have bank insurance, and all of them, I won't even say most of them, all of my clients that I've seen with bank insurance, their insurance policies have been accidental death only. Accidental death only, that means unless you die of an accident. An accident is road accident, maybe whether you're driving or somebody was driving you, or the car hits you on the road. That is what's termed as accidental death. So imagine now you've died of cancer, you've died of disease, you've died of anything, you slept and you didn't wake up. They're not going to pay you. And who are you going to blame? Insurance company. So guys, before you sign that document, especially if you're taking insurance from the bank, you're paying £10 or £5 and you think you have a good insurance, that insurance is rubbish. If I were you, I would just cancel it now, unless you have a contract with God that you're going to die of an accident, then you can keep it. But if you don't have a contract with God of how you're going to die, then you better just cancel the insurance. To me, it's not a good clause. I don't know if you guys have, Evelyn, do you have any bank insurance? Does it work like that in Kenya? Or I'll start with Evelyn.
So people do have bank insurance, but just like you've said, you know, they better review them. They're like, I have my bank insurance, but then people take these policies because they're cheap, but they don't understand what they are for. So we're putting back ownership to you guys. Is go back and look at what you have. And if you don't understand, this is a good time to ask, or go back to your bank and ask, what does this cover? Because I know they've sent me those and I just shred them. I just shred them because I just shred them. So yeah, people, back to you guys. Thank you.
Hi, Lydia.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I was muted. I was saying next Susan. I was like, oh, come on, Susan. And I'm thinking, why is she not talking? But it's on my side. Do you have insurance that people take from the bank and it's different from the UK ones?
She just explained.
Yes.
Oh, Susan, you explained. I didn't hear.
Evelyn explained.
Oh, yeah.
Evelyn.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Lydia. We do have bank insurance, the bank assurance, but what I would say is let banks do the work that they are supposed to do. I guess the banks, they saw that there was money in the insurance industry, and that is why now they are coming in and taking it. But what I usually tell people at the end of the day, like in the Kenyan market, the banks that have an insurance, there is an insurance company at the back there, because as a bank, they'll not be given that. They'll not be given the permission just to go and open an insurance. So they use insurance companies to sell the insurance. So at the back of it, I always ask somebody, which insurance company has covered you? Like I'll give an example. There's a time that I had an issue. I had a shop somewhere and it was bombed. Yet I had a loan with a bank. So the loan was insured. But because I took the loan with the bank and the insurance, I just signed it in the bank, I didn't know which insurance company, when I had an issue, I didn't know which insurance company to go to. So when you go to the bank, they're telling you, go to the insurance companies so that they can pay you. But you don't even know which insurance it is. Those are more than 10 years ago. That is what happened. That time I didn't know about insurance, but now I know. So I always ask them, yes, they have said that they're going to give you insurance, but which insurance company is at the back there? Why should you use a third party instead of you going direct to that company and have the best? So that is what I tell them.
Thank you. So somebody have actually said, here is my 2 cents. It's not 2 cents, it's actually a lot of contribution. If you reside in the US or UK, you ought to understand the benefits that are provided and covered by federal government, e.g. unemployment insurance, social security paid benefits, etc. Once you understand the baseline, then you can purchase insurance to cover additional risk. Someone said a bank is a distribution channel, Lydia. At Lydia, why do you think the coverage is different from coverage purchased from an insurance agent? Yeah, that is true. So anyway, we'll come back and answer everybody on Facebook. Thank you very much, our Facebook viewers, because I know we have like 10 minutes left. Thank you so much, our Facebook viewers. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm a Luo. Sometimes Lydia, it's hard for me.
Just kidogo. Just the way that we are agents. Just the way we are agents, and now we go and sell these policies to our clients. Even the banks, what are they doing? They're just agents.
Yeah, but they have different.
But the problem is Yeah, the problem is they don't give exactly what we are giving. And then in the information, if somebody has a claim, so where do they run to?
Yeah. And you can't sit with the bank. You can't sit in a bank the way we're
Yes.
sitting, and the bank will take time and explain to you everything about insurance. Come on. They have the different policies that they're dealing with, but we're only dealing with insurance. So it's different. Okay, now we want to talk about trust. I don't know, because I know I spoke to Evelyn before about trust. And now, coming of trust and going back to what Pamela was saying, that you have to tell your children where this is, for us is trust fund. In the UK, a lot of people were taking insurance. I think even this Walter has not signed his trust fund. Let me even get on to him. He hasn't signed his trust fund because I know he hasn't. And I sent it to him to sign it. He hasn't signed it. So trust fund is very important for you. Let me mute people again because there's a noise, cracking noise. I don't know. Sorry, I've muted everybody. Okay, so there's this trust fund for you. For what happened in our case in the UK, if you're taking insurance, you must have a trust fund. It's free. I'll do it for you for free. I don't know if some people charge if you take it direct from the company. There's some people who even took insurance and the company told them we don't do trust. That's not true. Every company should do trust. Every provider should have a trust fund. And that's where what Pamela was saying, that you need to tell somebody comes in. That is where you're going to write your beneficiaries, because, okay, you have insurance now, like Walter, my good friend here, have insurance. If anything happened to him today, God forbid, who is going to take the money? Because he hasn't done his own trust fund. So Walter, don't just sit there and look at me. You need to go and do your trust fund today, because I'll be on you tomorrow. Where's your trust fund? I've not seen it. So your trust fund is where your beneficiaries are going to be. Your trustees, you're going to have your trustees as well. And you, as the settler, you're going to sign it as well. And you're also going to have a witness. And what I always tell people, and this is where now people are scared that, oh, I'm going to be killed. That so-and-so is going to kill me. And we all know that people kill each other for insurance. There's a case, I was talking to Dr. Pam the other day, the man that killed his wife because of insurance. These things do happen. These things do happen. So stop distracting me, Walter. With yeah. These things do happen. So all I tell people is, when you're doing your fund, your trust fund, please do not choose husband and wife as your trustees. And that is, the name is trustee. So it means it's somebody you trust. So if you're choosing Evelyn as one of your trustees, you've chosen Walter as another one, you've chosen Susan or Dr. Pam, these four people don't know each other. So there's no way they're going to cahoot together and say, oh, let's go and kill Lydia and take her money. Or if Lydia dies, we're not going to give our children the money. They don't know each other. Because what happens is, when somebody passes on, let's say, God forbid, they are my trustees and are passed on, they'll call them, with the insurance company will call them and they'll bring their passports and tell them sign, because the trustees are the ones who will make sure the beneficiaries gets the money. So if you have the trustees that know each other, they can colleague together and say, you know what, we're not going to give Lydia's children money. So do not get trustees who know each other. And they have to be at least 3 or 4 people who don't know each other. And that is where now what Pamela was saying, that you must know, and then we send it to the company. So if you died, the company will straight away get in touch with your trustees, and your trustees in return will give your beneficiaries what they're entitled to. So that's how our trust works here in the UK. I don't know how it works in the US. Do you have anything like that in place? Evelyn, please.
So over here, you would have to find your own, as I mentioned, you'd have to find your own. So of course, you'll name your beneficiaries, just as Dr. Pam said, you name your beneficiaries, and then that's it when it comes to the life insurance, right? But then you have to find, do your own wills and trusts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it on your own, find a person that does it. And I know for my girlfriend who did her policy, she wanted to write a will. So she showed me a document, how to get a document, and she sent me a copy of it, in case somebody wants to use that as a, someone wants to use it as a will to do it. But you have, I think, especially when we have kids involved, make sure you're using an attorney. So if there's anyone here who's listening to me, I have lots of clients who need your services. So let's partner up. Call me, get in touch with me, because there's truly a need for our community to make sure there's a will and there's a trust in place. So we don't have to worry, what if? Yeah, get in touch with me if you're an attorney, or if I know different states have different rules, but I'm sure we can find something whereby we can help this. I have lots of single women who are my clients, and they wrote their kids as their beneficiaries, their kids being under 18. So there's such a huge gap there. So I want to make sure that I provide you with services beyond life insurance and beyond friendship. I provide something that's truly to safeguard your family. So we don't have one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pam, is there anything you want to add on before I go to Susan as well?
Yeah. Thank you that for what Evelyn has said, especially here in USA. That is another thing, Lydia, that is so important, having a trust and a will. If anybody needs those forms, I can print them. We usually have them at work. I can print them for them, but they can also take them to be notarized. Most banks, they can notarize your will. And as I said earlier, once they're notarized, that is a legal document. So you can write your will, notarize. You don't have, if you're scared of putting your wife or your husband, you can put whoever it is. And once it's that, in America, they respect that. So get the forms, fill the forms, take them, let them get notarized. If you need an attorney, because sometimes our people, we are cheap, we are cheap. Somebody thinks, oh, if I get an attorney, they're gonna ask me for so much. If you value your children, you can use an attorney. We have even African attorneys who can sign these things, who can make sure they have that for you. So there is a trust. You write a will, and then you use a trust, or you go to the bank. So those are things that if they need more, they can contact me, contact Evelyn, and we can guide them.
Okay, thank you very much. Susan?
Oh, Lydia,
Yes.
It's such an honor being in this forum, because seriously speaking and genuinely speaking, I have not been talking to people about the trust and the will. I know it is important because we have seen a lot of cases back here home where somebody goes and then you leave the family fighting over your property, even if you had the life policies, or somebody is gone and then you leave your kids, they don't even know where to go. So for that, my company has a trust fund. It's called the Milele Trust Fund that does all that. But to say the truth, I didn't even have information about it before. But you opened my eyes when you started talking about it, and then I asked, and I was told it is there. So it is not a product that I have been talking about, but it is there. So from now onwards, I'll be able to talk to my clients, and even the people who are watching this. If you have any policy with us, or even with any other company, come, let's talk about the Milele Trust Fund. It is very important. Put your house in order before anything. So it's there. Yes, we have, as I see it.
Susan, I have a question for you. What about people who are here in USA and have families back home and they are able to pay for the insurance? Can you talk? Lydia, I'm not taking your thing, but I'm just asking because I'm asking because I'm here on behalf of the people, and you guys are, agents. So Susan, can you explain to our people what they can do? They have family members, moms, dads, people back home. If they can pay for them, how do they go around?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yes.
I'll know, because I know that question is not going to be a 2-minute answer. It's going to be long. So what I can tell people, because a lot of, it's not just US, it's UK, it's Europe, it's everywhere in diaspora. Every single, and we are like 4 million diasporas. So those 4 million, they should call Susan. So thank you very much, Dr. Pam, for that. But those diaspora people should call Susan, and that's why we brought her to this forum today. so that people who are in the diaspora and they want their family covered in Kenya, how do we go along with that? My mom, my dad, please contact Susan, but we don't have time for her to answer that question here, but please contact Susan Mwangi. So Susan, put your number down. Evelyn, put your number down. Dr. Pam, put your number down. Put your numbers down on the Facebook, please, on Facebook. Because I know people know you guys, people know you, but just put your number there, okay?
All
so
right.
I'm just going to finish now, but before we go, I'll just let everybody have their last remark. And I'll start with Evelyn again. So Evelyn, if you can just give us your last remarks and then we finish for today. And thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lydia, for this wonderful platform and for the opportunity to even know Dr. Pam and to know Susan. You know, I now feel like, as I mentioned, I want your products, Lydia, to be incorporated in the ones in the US, but I'm also thinking, hey, maybe I should start getting policies for the US. It's never policies. I'm a life insurance agent. I like to insure myself. Hey, why not have policies all over the place? So thank you for that really eye-opening information. At the end of the day, this is such a community. Our community needs this. And I look back at even when I started, when I got into the insurance industry, one thing I knew is it sounded enticing to me in such a way that I actually wanted to get into health insurance in Kenya to sell health insurance products, but I could not get information from Kenya. So I gave up and I said, you know what, I'm in America, why not I just focus on America? And that's how I said, what else is there insurance? So there's life. That's how I got into life insurance in the US. And so I started to find more information. And what I found blew my mind. And I've been in it for 9 years. And I realized too that there's the reason why did someone like Dr. Pam decide to take the license? I'm sure because you want to help the community, right, Dr. Pam? There isn't so many of us doing this. There isn't so many of us. So who are we relying on? That's why we think that these Harambes will be sustainable. We cannot sustain these Harambes anymore, but that's because there isn't information out there. So I know when I put out my flyer this afternoon, I did say, no, 2 days ago, I said my goal is to protect 200 families this year. Last year, I protected 118 personally. But then I also, what I do is I also empower other women. I also empower other men to learn exactly what I do so that we can go out and inform this community. So last year we did 385 clients, 385 clients were protected by me and my team. What does that mean? Millions and millions and millions will be paid out if an illness happens or if death happens. These 385 do not have to rely on the community to take care of them because we went out to take care of them, right? So I always say, you know, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes and then learn how to do it. I didn't say it. Richard Branson said that. So I'm here to encourage us to think about entrepreneurship too. Because if anything COVID has taught us is not relying on one income. Have something else on the side. I'm doing this from home. I'm working from home. And if you've ever wanted to learn how to work from home, get in touch with me because our community needs you. We all need you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. So I'll go to Susan, please. Your last remarks. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. And it was such a great day and a great evening. Here it is 11 p.m. now, 11:30 in Kenya time. So it was a good forum and getting to know about the products that you have in the UK and the products that you have in the US and just interacting with Dr. Pam, Evelyn, and you, Lydia, for the 3 times now. It was great. And my main thing being in the insurance industry, as our company says, is just to protect and create that world. So the first thing is create the protection part, and then we create the world. Yes, as Evelyn has said, these Harambes, let's have them, not because that that is the only money that you're looking at, but just for people coming together as friends. Let's not have them as that if you don't get that money, then that is the end of you. Let us go out there, talk to people. Let us be the agents, and not just the agents, but now let us change that narrative of an agent to a financial advisor. That when I'm coming to you, I'm not just looking forward to you taking a plan, but I'm guiding you on all the goals that you need to have in your life. So the likes of the short-term goals, the medium-term, and the long-term. Let's educate these people so that when they come on board, they don't let go of these policies. And you don't, like in Kenya, that is what most of the time, that is what happens, where people have taken policies, but after some time they fall off. Why? Because they took that policy and they do not even understand what it is. So let us be out there and go and teach people what the insurance is, as well as the people out there. I will request them to give us that time so that we take them through. So thank you so much. And I'm hoping that we'll have another forum, because I have very good news, especially for people in the UK, about pension, a product that we have, and it is the only company in Africa, apart from South Africa, who have that product for people who are in the UK. Is a pension plan.
Thank you.
So Lydia, I know you can organize that for the people on your side.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, people. And I've put my contacts there on the Facebook. People in the Kenyan guys, you can talk to me any other time. I'll take you through the insurance products. Also, Dr. Pam, I need to share your contacts so that now we can get to the next level. Thank you so much, people. Bye.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Dr. Pam, please, your last remarks.
Thank you, Lydia. First of all, thank you for being a true sister to me. You know, you're my sister. Thank you, Evelyn, for knowing you. Now that I'm a newbie in this business, I'm just going to be holding your hand so tight. Thank you, Susan, for Kenya. You are an amazing woman. You are very knowledgeable. Thank you so much. Also, I want to thank our audience, Lydia's audience, my audience, all the audience, the people who are listening today. Thank you for coming in and for listening. My last thing I will tell you, insurance is a must. It is not an option. It is a must for you in order to make sure that you take care of your children. The second thing I'm going to say, financial independence is the best gift you can ever give to yourself. And for those of you who want to also join this business, it is okay to ask. I am still new. You ask me what I'm doing, what I've done, I will share. Evelyn she's a veteran. She knows. Ask her, inbox her, ask as many questions as you can. That is all I can say. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, Lydia. Thank you for the platform.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pam. Okay, I'll go to Walter.
Thank you, ladies. I've been on the limelight of being fired, but I'll give a kind of quote or something like, whatever you ladies are doing and everybody else can join in, is like, try sleeping in a room, even with one mosquito you can't sleep in. So all of you are like mosquitoes out there trying to spread your wings and do whatever you need to do. And I'll say that the accidental insurance the companies give, companies go out there and they've done what they call actuarial studies. They know how many people are going to die from accidents, maybe just 1 out of 10. So that way they'll make their money. Unions give free accidental death cover and all that. You never die from that. And they'll never give you what you require. So people out there, let's stick together, work together, and go to the people who know what they're talking about. And the people selling the insurance, they know what they're talking about. The banks are there to sell your product and to get you in. But people selling you insurance as Lydia sold me, whatever she sold to me, she took me back hopping, left, right, center. Eventually, the product reached home. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, just my own last remarks. Like you heard Evelyn saying, Arambe are not sustainable. You heard from Susan, protect and create the wealth. You heard from Dr. Pam, insurance is not an option, but it's a must. You heard from Walter, don't take accidental cover, go to the people who know what they're talking about. And for me, I'll say thank you very much, Evelyn. Thank you very much, Dr. Pam. Thank you very much, Susan. And thank you very much, my client, Walter. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation, because I know you guys are busy, but for you to take this time, thank you so much. And I also want to say personally thank every single person that tuned in today to watch us. We're actually 2 hours, 19 minutes gone. And for us to still have people there watching us, thank you very much for tuning in today. Really, really blessed. But you'll be more blessed if you guys listen that insurance is not an option, but it's a must. If you have the plan that we spoke about, the plan A, B, and C, if you have the plan in motion, that will help you get insurance cover. And for people who are in America, please get to Evelyn, because this is an area of expertise. So she knows exactly what she's talking about. If you're in Kenya, get in touch with Susan. This is an area of expertise as well. She knows exactly what she's talking about. And if you're in the UK, and I have a lot of my clients on this forum today. If you're in the UK, please contact me. And if I've given you insurance before, I just want to say what Dr. Pam said, that we don't look after our clients after that. If you're here, if you're watching on Facebook, and I gave you insurance a year ago, I've seen somebody already, and I'm not going to mention their name. Get in touch with me. That means I'm not a very good insurance person. I'm not looking after my clients. So get in touch with me and we'll review your policies, because every time new policies come every day. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And keep sharing, guys. Keep sharing so that somebody else can be blessed. And the people who ask questions, me, Evelyn, and Susan, and Dr. Pam, we'll come and answer you on Facebook. So thank you very much, everybody, once again. And remember, when you're taking insurance, take it with somebody who is reliable and somebody who is trusted. Don't just go and take insurance and then start blaming Evelyn because of what she said here today, or blame Dr. Pam, or blame myself, or blame Susan.
That they won't die.
No, that one I'm not even there. And somebody say Germany has many Kenyans. Please let us hear this. Yeah, so somebody in Germany, I think we'll have to get someone, because Germany, the way they do the insurance and the way we do insurance in the UK is totally different. So I cannot talk for Germany. Like we all know that we're talking about insurance is very sensitive and the compliances are very strict. So you have to be sure of what you're talking about. So I cannot touch Germany because I don't know their policies. I can only talk about UK. But get in touch with me. I'll look for somebody who is in Germany who does insurance. That's for sure. Thank you very much, Facebook. Love you all, and I'll see you next week. My panelists, please wait. Facebook people, bye-bye. Kwaherini. And, whoa, I've not spoken about COVID. COVID, guys, COVID is real. Remember to wash your hands, social distancing, wear your mask, use your hand sanitizer, and stay safe, stay blessed, and stay sound. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you, people. Thank you.
Thank you, people.
Thank you. Thank you.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.